Well, we should probably hurry because Mama's in there making potato chip pie. Yeah. What is this? Ugh. What? There's been some mice in here or something. That's mice scat. Yep. You don't want to get that in your potato chip pie. I tell you what. Gross. All right, ready, Skip? Let's go. Hey everybody, my name is Clark Pickens. I'm the head nut here at friendsofsquirrels.org, and this show is called Ask Clark. I answer all your squirrel questions. And the question today comes from, well, I'll be dipped, Kurt Grott. Now Kurt, if you may recall, asked the question, how does he overcome his fear of squirrels? I thought we had some good back and forth going on that, but I think he's been avoiding me lately. And with this question, I'm thinking he might have regressed a bit, because this week he asks, what are some good recipes for squirrels? Well, you'll be surprised. I actually have some really good ones, and we'll get to that right after this week's sponsor. This week we're doing that licky thing again. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do the sponsor. Just show it. If you want it, you know where to get it. Alright. Anyway, question. Good squirrel recipes. Well, as you may or may not know, I grew up on a squirrel ranch when I was a boy. Most of my life was, we grew up eating squirrel. So we have all kinds of great squirrel recipes, but now I'm reformed. I don't eat the squirrel anymore. I protect the squirrel. I save the squirrel. And so what I have done is I have adapted all of my old squirrel recipes into, well, recipes from a nemesis, which would be the scrub jay. So if you're not familiar, a scrub jay is kind of like a blue jay, kind of like it's a scavenger bird, but it's got a gray head, and we got them all over around here. The reason I paused there is because the scrub jay killed my favorite squirrel, Bruce, and Bruce loved nuts. And I have a therapist, and we talk. I have a support group, the Anna Bird League, and we all talk. And one of the things that I try to do is I try to not bottle up my anger, because I clench a little bit and I get the chest pains. So the scrub jay is my nemesis, and I hate the scrub jay. And whenever I have an opportunity, I will club one and stick it in a potato sack, and I got a freezer full. So what I've done is I've taken all my good squirrel recipes and I've adapted them for the scrub jay. And I'm going to go through a couple of my favorite ones here today. One that we eat quite often is the scrub jay, or the squirrel cacciatore, as Papa. Now my Papa here was an excellent squirrel cook. I do love the taste of squirrel, but again, will not eat it. It's a very interesting meat. The scrub jay is actually more like a chicken. It's a little more gamey, a little more sinewy, but works just fine. It reminds me of it's a cheap chicken, because I got scrub jays all over. So the squirrel cacciatore that we now call scrub jay cacciatore, it's an Italian dish. I like to, instead of serving it over noodles, I like to serve it over rice. It is it's basically it's about 4 pounds of scrub jay, and that's usually around 18 birds. But they're about that big. It's like a little chicken, So we get 18 after you clean them and you get the meat off of them. There's really not a whole lot of substance there. So about 18 birds, 4 pounds. You've got your tomatoes, and I'll have all these recipes up on friendsofsquirrels.org/recipes, and you can go and download them and make it yourself. But it's a tomato base. It's got some red peppers, some garlic, and you basically you get it all cooking in a Dutch oven for I don't remember how long it is, but it's a bit of a time. And you get it all cooked up, and you got the oil on the scrub jay. Then you throw in your acid, which would be the tomato sauce, and you throw in some garlic and some red peppers. And you get all that cooking down, maybe some Italian spices. And then you cover it, you stick it in the oven, and you let it cook for the rest of the time, and it gets very, very moist. Moist, and very delicious. That's one of my favorites. Also, very much, we make squirrel tacos. Well, not squirrel tacos. We make scrub jay tacos. That's about 8 scrub jays, and it's very good too. You don't even really know now. It's sort of like a chicken taco. I do it in the slow cooker. We put in the scrub jays. We put in a whole taco seasoning, and then some water, and you let that cook for 4 to 6 hours, depending on how tender you want your meat to get. And then it's very spicy, and you shred it up, and you throw that on tacos. Very good, very good. We've also made scrub jay spaghetti, and you do need a lot of acid, a lot of flavor. You're not going to have like a scrub jay. I don't like to just grill it, you know. You can do that with a squirrel. You can grill a squirrel, and it comes out pretty good. You want to do either a brine or a marinade or something in there. Again, don't eat squirrels. It doesn't work as well with the scrub jay. If you're going to cook it, you want to brine it. For Thanksgiving, we have tried to do like a bunch of little breasts, or like what you would do with a Cornish game hen or something, you know, tie its legs together, throw it in the oven for a bit. It just doesn't work out. You basically harvest the meat, and then you work it into the recipe. So how do you eat your scrub jays? Well, I've got several methods that I use. We set up traps. So I have a steel trap. They love the corn. I put corn in there, and then just pull the cord. You got yourself a scrub jay inside of there, and it works pretty good. So then I also use a slingshot. I use my club. I actually probably get 75% of them with a club. When they're eating, you creep up slowly enough, and then you know. Do I have a club in here? Nope, I got one of these. I don't recommend you smack them with that. But if you just imagine this were a club, and let's say this beaver here were a scrub jay, and he was, you know, he's picking on some corn, like so. He's not even gonna see you. You're just gonna come up and drop some corn, Skip, and then you throw it in your bag, and you're good to go. I get probably 5 or 6 a week. But they keep coming back. They keep coming into my refuge, and I keep smacking them over the head. And free food. That's what I say. So mostly a club. Also use a slingshot and some traps, but works pretty well. They don't taste too gross. And if you get, like I said, you get enough seasoning in there, works pretty good. I got a picture this week. I have a picture. I took a picture. But first, we're going to tell you about the Patreon. Just real quick, if you are a Patreon, I need you to call the secret number that you have and ask me a question, because we actually are about out of questions. I think we have about 3 or 4 more, and we'd like to have a whole bunch in the bucket. So please call in, and I want to listen to you ask the question. That'd be great. If you want to become a friend of Squirrels, you can do that over at patreon.com/Clark Pickens. So I took this picture over the weekend. This is a adorable little guy, and just eating. You know, I don't like to get them up in my hand, but I do like to just get real close, you know, and throw them some food, and they eat it. And then they allowed me to get my camera right up there. I've got one of them information phones, so I took a picture with that, and it was all fun. So again, if you want any of the squirrel recipe, scrub jay recipes that I gave you today, that's over at friendsofsquirrels.org/recipes, and there's a whole I don't know how many I give you, but there's a couple up there, and you can check that out. If you have a question for me, you can leave me a comment right here below the video, or you can send an email over to clark@friendsofsquirrels.org. Make sure to like this video and share it with your friends, and until next time, my name is Clark, and I'm the head nut here at friendsofsquirrels.org. And now I got corn all over the place along with the rat poop. Huh.